Well, last night, for only the sixth time in the past 5 weeks, I actually had a losing day with my complimentary plays. Yes, I went 0-2 last night. Wrong side of the Browns-Redskins game, wrong side of the Dodgers run line release against the Reds. And you know what? I'm 46-19 here with the complimentary plays over the past 33 days. And I've got two more coming up in just a moment as I'm going to take a look at the Blue Jays, Yankees, and Mets, Pirates, plus give you the preseason notes that I accumulated in spending hours of research looking over tonight's games. That's all coming up in a moment. Now, that may be the bad news in one aspect. The good news yesterday, there is nothing better than kicking off the NFL preseason with a winner, and that's what I did last night with a 10-dime release as the San Diego Chargers, for the second straight year in their preseason opener, took care of business against the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, it was not an entertaining game. It was not a good game, but all that mattered was I was laying 4. I won. Bottom line, winning ticket. That's it. Nothing else matters. Now, that was a 10-dime play. Today, I'm going for winning day number 22 out of 34 with a 15-dime release. I'm backing a team in baseball that I've used many, many times, and this particular pitcher many, many times this season. And I'm backing them here tonight because they're coming off a loss, and I think they're going to rebound with the win. And that's one of your discounted plays of the day selections today. You can save $50 by using coupon code BOUNCE, B-O-U-N-C-E. But the big play today I want to talk about is Brad Wilton. Not only going for winning day number 26 out of 41, a stretch where he has made $10 bettors $11,150 in the past 40 days. But today, third ever 200-dime release in baseball since he joined the site 3 years ago, right before hitting the Super Bowl. Third ever 200-dime play. Hit number 1 2 Wednesdays ago with the Nationals 7-2 at Miami. Hit number 2 this past Saturday, Kansas City 7-6 over the White Sox. You got both of those plays for half price today, half price play of the day. Once more, it is Brad Wilton, and you get that play for half price simply by using the coupon code 200-DIMER, 200-DIMER, 200-DIMER. 4-0 lifetime with 150-dime baseball releases, including a winner on the Cubs over Milwaukee 2 Saturdays ago, which you also got as half price. This play is bigger, 5-1 the past 5 weeks with 100-dime releases, all of which you've gotten for at least half price off. This play is twice as strong. Football, the featured play today. Scott Delaney, 50-dime preseason opening game of the year, part number 2. Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. Packers outright as a 2-point road dog, winning at New England last night 22-11. His 50-dime preseason opening week play number 1. This play is just as strong. You get it for $70 off by using coupon code. Oh, this is a difficult one. Football, FOOTBALL. That's your coupon code. Of course, the real significance here with Scott Delaney, who has made $10 bettors in all sports since the middle of May, a little over $8,000, is that this is a 50-dime play. And with 50-dime plays or higher in all sports over the past 4 years, he's made those same $10 bettors over $39,400. You save $70 by using coupon code FOOTBALL. Quick congratulations going out to Brian Rosiga, who improved to 2-0 with his preseason plays. Hit a 50-dime play last night, easy one with the Lions, 23-3 over the hapless New York Jets. Hapless and New York Jets. It's a phrase that I think we're going to be talking about a lot this year and repeating often, right? You saved and got it for $29 yesterday. He was the featured discounted football play yesterday. So congratulations to him as he's off to a 2-0 start in this preseason. Trace Adams off to a 2-0 start in the preseason. Hope you checked yesterday's report out where I ran down who's done the best for you in football over the past few years here at the site. I'll do it again next week. I can't do it every single day with football, but I'll do it again next week at the start of next week's preseason action as well. Let's talk first baseball in terms of complimentary plays. I'm going to go with the New York Mets at home over Pittsburgh and backing Bartolo Colon, who, of course, should be a poster child for anyone over the age of 40 that's 40 pounds overweight. Because, yes, you can pitch in the major leagues if you look like Bartolo Colon. But, of course, you may want to pitch a little better than Bartolo Colon because lately he has not been pitching well. Matter of fact, has a 5.30 earned run average in his last 9 starts. And, oh, FYI, Mets have lost 8 of those 9 games. So why go with the Mets here tonight? A, Cologne's got to turn it around, right? B, they're sizzling. They're on a 14-4 run. And a team that couldn't score runs is averaging 5.6 runs a game in that stretch. That is more than the number one scoring team in baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays, are averaging on the season. This is a team that in their previous 20 games, where they lost 11 of those 20, they averaged 2.8. So almost an increase of 3 runs a game during this 14-4 roll. They're 42-18 at home, coming off a 4-game sweep of the Rockies. They've won 7 straight at Citi Field, 11 of 13 overall. And meanwhile, I know the Pirates are in a 12-4 series roll, and I know the Pirates swept the 3-game series when the Mets weren't playing well at PNC Park in Pittsburgh back in mid-May. Outscored them 21-4 in that 3-game series. But I think the revenge factor comes in here. And the other reason, I have to be totally honest with you, that I'm really going with the Mets tonight, this is more of a play against the Pirates than on the Mets. Yes, the Mets are playing well at home. Yes, the negative is Bartolo Colon. But the way I look at it is J.A. Happ, one-time Phillies prospect, pitching for the Mets, or for the Pirates. He was discarded from the Seattle Mariners. Before that, pitched poorly for the Toronto Blue Jays. Listen, he made his first start for the Mets against the Cubs back on, for the Pirates against the Cubs back on August 4th. Only lasted 4 1/3 innings and gave up 4 runs. That was his last start, August 4th. His next start was missed in the rotation. I just don't have a lot of confidence in him. And taking the hot team at home at a virtual cheap price, $115, I got to do it. Now, your other play, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays on the run line, minus $1.15 at home against the New York Yankees. David Price on the hill. Price, 8-0 with a 3.53 earned run average and 10 career starts at Toronto, including his first outing as a member of the Blue Jays after being acquired from Detroit. Came against the Minnesota Twins, 3 hits, 1 run, 11 strikeouts in 8 innings. He followed that up last Saturday with his second start in the Bronx, part of a 3-game sweep for the Blue Jays in New York last weekend, which they dominated the Yankees. As a matter of fact, Price and Marco Estrada both threw shutouts in that one. In that one, 7 strikeouts, 3 hits, and 7 shutout innings of work. Ivan Nova going against Price for the second straight time here. He gave up 4 runs in 5 1/3 innings in the start against Price last weekend at home. He has a 6.94 earned run average in his last 5 starts against the Blue Jays. So I'm going to go with Toronto. They've won 11 straight. They've won 14 out of 15. They're 39-21 now at home. Number 1 scoring team in the majors, over 5 runs a game. Meanwhile, the Yankees had lost 5 straight. A stretch of bad ball where they had scored a total of 6 runs with yesterday's 8-6 win at Cleveland. Doesn't exactly instill a lot of confidence, right? And ironically, that 5-game losing streak that they snapped yesterday, it started last Friday in the first of the 3 straight losses in the Bronx to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have dominated the season series, going 7-2. And look at what they're doing. You know what their power numbers are like. I mean, it's such a power-laden lineup. 22 homers in 12 games already this month. 157 homers, tops in the American League. So that's your other baseball play. Now let's talk football. You know, I looked at 3 games on the board, and I really delved into them and did all my research about them, but I just didn't feel that good about pulling the trigger on any of them. Not like last night's game with the Chargers where it was screaming, bet me, bet me, bet me. You know, today's games, I just thought that baseball was the better play. And it's the reverse of what I said here to you in the past couple of weeks. It doesn't matter whether it's football or baseball. You know, I've been touting the fact that football, you can make money in the preseason because it's a 50-50 betting proposition. Well, the same thing applies here. Tonight, I thought the edge of the 50-50 that I wanted to be on happened to be in a baseball game instead of football. So let me instead give you the work that I did for these games. Atlanta, of course, is hosting Tennessee tonight. For the Falcons, it's the debut of their rookie head coach, Dan Quinn. And for Tennessee, it's the rookie debut of that, who's that guy, that quarterback out of Oregon that they got with the number 2 draft pick? Yeah, Marcus Mariota. Here's a couple interesting things about him, reading what the beat writers had to say. You know, in 7-on-7 scrimmages. Now, these are 7-on-7 scrimmages, okay? This is not full pads against an opponent. It's not even a real full-scale, full-member scrimmage, right? 186 passes in training camp without an interception, which either says he's extremely accurate or The defense of Tennessee absolutely is pathetic. Could be one or the other, but hey, I thought I'd throw it out there. What they say, though, is that he'll probably play about 10 to 12 plays here tonight. So far, according to the beat writers, he's displayed excellent accuracy on his throws. He's shown a willingness to throw the ball into traffic, something he didn't really have to do that much when he was at Oregon, obviously. Zach Mettenberger, the guy who was going to be the future quarterback, we thought, for the Titans, is available for backup duty here tonight, as is Charlie Whitehurst. They're number 2 and 3 on the Titans depth chart for a team that went 2-14 last season. But they also are trying to develop some young wide receivers. You know, Justin Hunter, Dorial Green-Beckham. They're going to see some action here tonight. Don't have much in the running back category. I mean, Bishop Sankey, 3.7 yards per carry. That's their number 1 returning running back from a season ago. Meanwhile, you know, you look at the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, you got Matt Ryan, T.J. Yates. They're your top 2 quarterbacks. Sean Renfree. Again, I just couldn't pull the trigger on this game, and I can't even tell you here to take a wild guess which way to go. I'd lean a little more toward the Falcons because, again, I always think that in preseason that the rookie head coaches who are taking over a losing program, they want to instill something in their team, an immediate momentum boost, a confidence-building win. And playing at home, I think they'll be more motivated. Cheap price, so I'd probably lean toward Atlanta. Seattle and Denver is going to be the game that everybody's going to be focusing on. You remember what happened in the preseason opener between these two last year in Denver. It was just a few short months after the Broncos got their ass kicked in the Super Bowl, and they won that rematch, 21-16. Big deal, right? Where did that get them? No Peyton Manning tonight. No Demaryius Thomas tonight. Most of the starters, those that will be playing, are only going to play a series or 2 for Seattle. Broncos, who knows what's going on there? Same thing, most likely, as in first preseason games. The starters will see a few series. The big thing for the Broncos here tonight is Brock Osweiler is going to get the bulk of the duty at quarterback. And, you know, this is an important preseason for him because this is the thing. You know, it's his 3rd year. And they've got to know, they meaning the Broncos, they've got to find out, is this guy just going to be a journeyman, or is he going to eventually be the guy they're going to groom to take over Peyton Manning? Right? I mean, the jury is still out here in terms of Osweiler. One thing that he does have going to advantage tonight, and he's probably going to play 1.5 to 2 quarters, the Legion of Boom, it ain't nowhere to be found in Seattle here tonight. Richard Sherman out with an injury. Earl Thomas out with an injury. Cam Chancellor holding out. Will Blackman out with an injury. You got a bunch of nobodies back there, led by Kerry Williams, who was the human torch of the Philadelphia Eagles secondary the past 2 years. He's probably the most experienced starter that the Seahawks are going to be throwing out there tonight. Meanwhile, Osweiler is going to be playing behind the revamped offensive line. That's going to have a rookie at left tackle, a rookie at left guard, a second-year pro battling for the starting center spot. Ugh. You know, again, Gary Kubiak, his debut for the Broncos as their head coach. Pete Carroll. Last time we saw Pete Carroll, he was making the bonehead play of the century, right? One thing I can always say about his teams preseason, they've always been a great betting proposition. Tough game. I would lean toward grabbing the points with the Broncos here tonight. But again, I keep going back to the fact that Pete Carroll has generally been a pretty good play in the preseason, so that had me hedging my bet here in that one. You got St. Louis visiting Oakland. Nick Foles, Case Keenum, Austin Davis, the first 3 guys in the quarterback rotation for the Rams. These are all guys who have started games in the NFL and have played well at times. But they're playing behind a very inexperienced offensive line. They've got rookie starters at right tackle and right guard. They have uncertainties who's starting at center. Jack Del Rio, of course, the Raiders' new head coach, his first game, taking over a team that the past 2 years was a miserable 11 and 37 during the regimes of Tony Sparano and Dennis Allen. Derek Carr entrenched as the starting quarterback right now. But you got Christian Ponder and you got Matt McCloy, both NFL starters in their own right at various times during their careers, backing him up. So I think that the Raiders definitely have every bit of the advantage that the Rams do in terms of enjoying experience when the starting quarterback leaves. Raiders also have the home field advantage for what it's worth for a horrible team. I actually like, of these 3 games, I like the Raiders as my other play here tonight. If I had to make a third complimentary play and added these 3 preseason games that I handicap the most, I like the Raiders the most of them all. So take it for what you will and what you may. By the way, the Raiders, of course, tonight, the debut of their number 1 draft pick, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, Amari Cooper, who will be teamed with Michael Crabtree, the former number 1 for the 49ers. So, they have some receiving threats. They've just got to make sure Derek Carr is the man to do so and get him the ball. That'll do it today, guys. Best of luck to you all, and I'll catch you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.